Okay, so we moved into this house about a year and a half ago, and we thought that we were gonna leave this August in like 3 months, but we got offered to re-sign the lease, and the market has been awful. Like, everyone is homeless right now, nobody can find a place, so we decided to keep it. And because I live in a share house with 5 people total, it can be kind of a mess sometimes, like it doesn't stay super clean. So I really want my bedroom to be like my sanctuary that I have full control over, can keep super neat and tidy, my exact style. And my mom and I actually completely redid this room a couple months ago. It was in pretty bad shape. I'll insert a clip of what it looked like before. And it wasn't just like this for the first few weeks of living here. It was like this for the first year or more. And when I was back in America for a while staying in my mom's house, my standard of living definitely got a bit higher. I was used to living in such a clean, well-designed space because my mom is such a good interior designer. Her house is amazing. But when I got back here into my share house, I was like, okay, something needs to be done with my room. It is not looking good, and I'm just anxious all the time being in my house. So we redid it, and I would say it's about 80% done, but there are lots of like little bits and bobs that I want to change that I kind of was putting off because I was like, well, we're moving anyway in August, like I'll bring everything to the next house and then I'll really focus on finishing it. But now that we've decided to re-sign, I'm like, okay, this job isn't finished, and I would hate to have put in all of the work to get it 80% done and not ever finish it. So I'll show you what it looks like now, and then I'll explain some of the things that I want to change. So this is what it looks like as you walk in. It's pretty cute. I haven't cleaned anything, so there are kind of random things scattered everywhere. But this is how it looks. Can show you from a different view as well. On this side, we've got this nice big door looking out into the yard. So one of the things I definitely want to do is fill this space above my bed a little bit. I feel like right here above this side table would be a perfect place for a few photos. I have literally no photos of my family or of home, and I honestly haven't this entire time that I've been living in Australia, which is very sad because I feel like I should have a few reminders of home in my space here. So I think I'll do that for above the side table. And then for above the bed right here, I don't really know what I want to do. I think I need to look on Pinterest and figure something out because I really, like, I don't want a wall hanging. I don't want a tapestry. I feel like that's so not it anymore. And then for my little dresser area over here, I like the little pouches. Like I like having this little skincare pouch because I think it's really cute. My laptop case is pretty cute. But my jewelry is still in this travel jewelry holder. And I've been putting off getting a jewelry box because I want to get kind of a nice one that I can keep forever. But I've been in my frugal era and I am avoiding spending money. But I feel like now that I'm staying here for another year in this house, it is time to not feel like I'm on vacation unpacking my little travel jewelry bag anytime I want to wear a piece of jewelry. So I think a jewelry box would look really nice right here. And then I think I also want to get a couple like tallish candle holders to add some height. And then obviously just clear the clutter a bit. So it's like, it's looking okay right now. It's not awful, but I want it to look a little bit more curated and finished. And then this mirror is so nice, but I'm not loving the like pseudo distressed vibe of the frame anymore. And I feel like the turquoise color with all of the pink and like there's some turquoise in this comforter. And I feel like the turquoise is just a little bit too on the nose. I feel like it needs to be either maybe like a dark beige or dark like mauve tan or the same color as the wall. Like I kind of almost want it to look flatter, if that makes sense. I don't want it to be like this statement piece that looks super coastal. I kind of just want it to look more subdued. I also want to replace this rug because it is leaving so many little friends on the carpet, and we literally vacuumed this a few days ago. Like this just happens all the time and it's really not helping the vibe of the space. I also think this space right above the plant next to the mirror would be good if there was a piece of art there or something. My two sisters and mom are all artists, so I feel like if I could get one of their prints or something, it'd be really nice and add another element of home and also just give the space a bit more character. I also might change out these beige sheets to some white winter sheets that I have tucked away, because it's getting into winter in Australia and I feel like, I don't know, it might just help refresh the space a little bit. This side table also just is not it. There's CJ stuff on it right now. But I've had this vase for a while now and it's still cute. Maybe I can make it work, but I'm kind of sick of it. I feel like I just want this side table to be a bit more curated, and obviously I need to get fresh flowers to put in it as well, and I think it'll look nicer. So I think I'm gonna have a little look on Pinterest and then try to plan out what all I need to buy. So hopefully I can find a new rug and test out some paint colors for the mirror. And then I think I'm gonna go through my photos and find some photos that I want to get printed to frame. For some reason, it's really difficult to find nice frames here. I feel like all of the frames I've gotten here have been from Target and they've just broken. And if you've never been to an Australian Target, as a side note, it will very much disappoint you if you're American. But anyway, maybe I'll try to find some frames at some op shops nearby. And I'm hoping maybe I can thrift some candlesticks as well. I don't know, we might just have to go on a little treasure hunt via Facebook Marketplace and the op shops nearby. So I'll bring you along to all of my little errands and then we'll get back here and start playing with some stuff. Kind of did okay at the op shops. I found some stuff, but I'm gonna be a little cheeky. I just drove to Perigian Beach and I think I'm gonna look in some of the little boutiques here. They're usually expensive, so I'm gonna try to see if I can find any treasures. I'm gonna have a look around here and then when I get home, I'll show you everything that I've gotten. I'll show you the paint samples I picked out for the mirror, and then hopefully by the end of the day, I can make my choice and come back and get some paint and we'll get started on our little projects.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake.
I picked out some paint samples for this mirror and I want to show you them. So I have some light ones, but this one I feel like isn't going to work because I don't want it to be lighter than the wall behind it. I feel like that would look weird. This one, I don't know. It's like a little too yellowy. I feel like it's just a kind of black color. It like brings out the colors of the room that I already don't like the color of the shitty carpet and the walls and stuff. I don't know. I don't really like. This light one is probably the best light one because it kind of has like pinkish undertones, which would match my bed. So if I did a light one, I would probably choose this one. And then I got this darker tone as well, but I feel like it's not saturated enough. Like it's just straight up gray. I thought it had more like mauve-y undertones, but it's just gray. So like maybe I'll show you what it looks like with the rest of the room, but I'm not sold. These ones I'm kind of excited about. I think this one's a little bit too yellowy orange. I think I wanted to have some pink undertone in there. These ones I like. Honestly, this one might be too saturated too. So maybe the way to go is this one if I choose like a pinkish brown. I also chose this gray and it has kind of a turquoisey blue-green undertone, so it's definitely the most similar to what the mirror already is, which I don't really mind. I don't like the bright turquoise, but I think if I just toned it down to this, it could still look good. But I just have to figure out if I want to go like kind of monochromatic with my room, because there's tons of pink already in my room, so if I want to keep going with that theme, then I would maybe pick this one. But if I want to add some contrast, I could try the super dark. I don't know. So these are the ones I'm deciding between. You can see what they look like with the comforter. Okay, here they all are together. It's kind of a mess, so it's hard to tell. Okay, how many ways can I show you the same paint samples? But this is what it looks like up against the mirror. I'm kind of vibing the dark. I don't know. What do you think? Like, I'm wondering if it has enough of a greenish, warmish undertone, purplish. I don't know what the undertone is, but I don't want it to be straight up gray. I want it to be a little bit saturated. And I feel like it's saturated enough, like especially if there would be more light coming through earlier in the day. Like, I'm kind of feeling like I don't want it to introduce more of those colors into the room. And then this, I just feel like I might get sick of. It's almost too saturated. And then this one would look nice. I think this might be the safe option because I already know what it looks like with that kind of color. But then this one I think has the potential to look the coolest. Okay, now that I put this on the wooden desk, I feel like this color is really cool. Like the purpley undertone kind of juxtaposes the warmth of the wood, but it's still warm enough that it would be like very comfortable and zen in this space. I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm talking out of my ass, but I might actually ask my Instagram story to help me decide because I'm torn. But I think that's all I'm gonna do for today, and then tomorrow I'll pick the paint and I'll show you everything I got today. It's the next day. And I probably look kind of crazy right now. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can tell on camera that my skin is looking interesting. And that's because last time I was in America, I actually got little freckle tattoos at a cosmetic studio that I had gotten my eyebrows done at. And I was like, oh, that's so fun. Like, that'll be cute. Because they're meant to only last like a few months, or that's what I thought. And I only wanted to get a few. Like, I didn't want it to be crazy. And so I went in, and the girl who was doing it mapped out like with marker where she was gonna put them, and they were all over, like all over my face. And I was like, oh, I actually wanted way less than that. So she erased a few, and I was like, I think I want a little bit less than that. And she kept erasing, but it was still so many, and they were perfectly spaced out. Like, it looked like perfect polka dots and like super unnatural. So I just kept saying like, oh, can you like get rid of this one? Can you get rid of this one? And eventually my people-pleasing tendencies kicked in again. And I was like, okay, yeah, that should be fine. And then she did it, and I have hated them ever since, to be completely honest. So today I finally got them removed using laser, and I had been putting it off for ages because I thought that like laser tattoo removal took like 10 sessions and was super expensive. So I was picturing this to be like $1,000 ordeal, but she thinks I only need the one session or maybe one more, and it was $220, which is still more than I wanted to spend on getting rid of something that I spent money on. But lesson learned, I won't be doing that again. And I need to really work on my people-pleasing tendencies because they're getting me into trouble. But anyway, I just wanted to give you that random update because in case you're wondering why my skin is gonna look like this for the rest of the video, that's why. But anyway, I'm in Maroochydore now, and I think I'm gonna go to a few more op shops around here to find some things for the room. And I might even run into the mall to get like any last things that I can't find at op shops, like frames. And I might get some photos printed as well. So that'll be today. And then when I go home, I'll show you everything that I've gotten, and I'll show you the paint that I picked out for the mirror. Woohoo!
Beyond the ghost, we stand on the opposite shore. Hello.
So I've narrowed the paint choices down to Jasper, which is this one, and Pragmatic, which is this bottom lighter pink. I kind of think I'm like bored of this color, so I would hate to do so much work to have it look essentially the same. And I feel like bringing in more cream to a basically completely cream room. The carpet's cream, the walls are cream, the trim is cream, like, I don't know, I'm over it. So I want a little bit of contrast, and I feel like this will obviously bring in the most contrast, but I don't know if I'm bold enough to choose it. And this one would be like the safer option while still adding like some more color into the space. So I think I'm gonna test patch both of them on this portion of the mirror and have a look and see if it makes the choice any easier, which I don't know if it will. And then I'll ask CJ his opinion because contrary to what it seems like, this is his room too, and I may as well include him on one design choice. Now, whether I decide to listen to him or not, we'll see.
would say the darker one,
Mm-hmm.
just because it's like
Contrast. Yeah.
against like what's already so bright
Yeah.
in here.
I want the top one.
But
And
are you liking the bottom one more?
No, I feel like the bottom one's safer in terms of like, I don't know, but the bottom one there's just already so much pink in this room.
Yeah.
And I thought that it was like, because it's this color, which looks like kind of muted, but on there, now that I see it, it's like very pink.
It's probably more bright because of all the white in here too.
Yeah.
Like if you cover the white, or like the reflections like off the light, it is a bit muted.
Yeah.
That's my
Do you think it's like too gray? Because there's like a nice undertone of like greenish. But do you think you like the dark one? That's all that matters, huh?
You also can see better colors than me.
Because I'm a girl.
Evolutionarily. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Women can decipher more shades than men.
Yeah.
So
know that actually. Slay. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing the dark. I feel like I've wanted the dark one this entire time, and I asked my Instagram story, and of course the dark got like 3rd place out of 4, but I was like, I don't think I'm gonna listen. But my sister voted for the dark, and I very much trust her judgment. And now CJ wants the dark, so at least he can be contributing his design eye a little bit to the space and get something that he wants. And I feel like the pink, there's already a lot of pink in this space too. It would just be, I don't know, it'd just be very pink. I feel like it needs some contrast and it needs a little bit less femininity in here. So we're going for the dark, and I'm just gonna tape out all of the windows in this mirror. Wish me luck. It's gonna be no easy feat. And then we'll see if I have time to actually paint it today, but if not, I'll paint it tomorrow and I'll show you. I don't think I like how the gray turned out. It's like not saturated at all. It has no warm undertones. It's just straight up gray. And I feel like the gray with the pink bedding is giving 10-year-old girl. So I don't know. I was bummed because the pink also came out super like cotton candy pink when I wanted it to be more muted. So I'm thinking about adding a little bit of the gray paint into the pink paint to make the pink less saturated and a bit darker and more muted, and doing a test patch of that, because I left the tape on here and the tape took like 4 times as long as the actual painting did. So while I have the tape still on there, I think I'm gonna do a test patch and decide if I want to repaint it again, which is honestly so annoying because I thought I was gonna finish today, and maybe I still will, but I don't know. It takes kind of a long time because there's so many little like crevices in that mirror. But I'll show you what the room's looking like now. It is so disheveled, but I feel like it has to get worse before it gets better. So I did some test patches with different amounts of gray added to the pink. So that's like the lightest one I did. Then it gets a tiny bit darker, and then that's like a decent amount of gray. And I feel like that one's still kind of ugly. So I might go for like the middle ratio that I did. It might be kind of hard to tell the difference between the top and that one on camera, but I just don't want to paint it again and it be too cotton candy pink and me hate it again. So I think just a pretty muted pink, I think I'll like better. All right, round 2, let's do it. Okay, while I'm waiting for the paint to dry, I thought I would do a little haul of all the things that I got while I was op shopping the other day. And I also got a couple things new from some boutiques and just like department stores. So the first thing I got is this bed skirt, And I don't know how we're feeling about bed skirts these days. I thought that since I'm taking the rug out from under the bed, I feel like I need to add some more softness back into the room. Like, our bed frame is just like cheap black metal. So I thought that sitting on top of the shitty carpeting just isn't gonna look good. And I don't really want to buy another rug because they're kind of expensive, like unless you get one that's just not very good quality. So I think if I just put a bed skirt on and then leave the carpet like clean and minimal, it might look nice. And then I got these little dishes for $2 each. So there's this one, and this one has like pretty gold detailing on the edges. And then this pretty floral one. And I'm thinking I'm gonna put it on the dresser and use it for holding like my perfumes and skincare and maybe jewelry. And I just didn't know which one I wanted, so I got all three because they were literally $2, and I was like, I don't want to have to come back here again. And then I got these two vases. They're just like simple clear glass vases, and I got them for $3 each. And I just wanted to replace, I don't know if you can see, yeah, the pink one back there. I'm just getting sick of it. I think I'll probably keep the blue one, but there's so much pink in this room, and now I'm literally painting the mirror pink. So I just want to add in some more like minimal details instead of just having the ceramic clay base. Like, I'm bored of it. So I think one of them is going to go on a bedside table, and then the other one's going to go on the dresser. And then I also got this glass candlestick and this wooden candlestick for the dresser. And then I found these two mini ones for the dresser as well for $3.50. They're just from the op shop. And I bought these candlesticks. So I got a white one and a pink one, and then a smaller like orange-ish one. And they've got this pretty texture on it. Hopefully you can see. Yeah, you can see there. And I don't know which one is going to go in which candle holder yet, but they're all going to go on the dresser there. And I also got one of these candles to just sit on one of the dishes that I bought, because I was looking on Pinterest at like aesthetically pleasing dressers, and someone did this and it looked really cool. And then I just got these two little tea light candles because I bought this tea light holder, and this was actually the one thing that I got new, but it's so cool. I've never seen anything like this. So it comes in two pieces. So you put the tea light in the bottom there, and you put this on top, and it has a hole in it, and it just sits and glows with a little candle lit in there. So this is also gonna go on the dresser. This is pretty much all stuff for my dresser. And then the only other things I got were picture frames, which are kind of boring, so I'm just gonna show you them when they're hung with the pictures on them. But yeah, that's my little op shop haul, and I'm gonna do a second coat of paint on the mirror, and then I'll do the little final touches on the room, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Pink, and I hate it. I think it's worse than the gray was. And I'm back in my paint clothes. I bought more new paint, and I'm painting it a third time. So after 2 rounds of painting the entire mirror, I've decided to play it a little bit safe and go with this color. It's this beige that has like kind of greenish undertones. And I had them match it to a color from Benjamin Moore called Pashmina. And I know that I love that color, so I feel like this is a safe bet. And I feel like it's just gonna be way more zen than the pink is. Like, I was kind of going for a cool, like, monochromatic look with the pink, but it's just too pink. It, again, is giving 10-year-old girl. And I'm trying to create my zen den. So I feel like this color is much more muted and just much more of a neutral. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like you can't go wrong with it. Freckle check, they're all scabs. Love that. sun is setting, I'm officially out of my painting clothes, and that means it's reveal time.
Being gentle with how we feel. There's a charge in the room. I can feel all the fire rising. I'll handle with care. We will honor this tender space, giving time to let go. Peace comes as we pause, breathing in deep until there's calm. Peace comes as we pause, breathing in deep.
I hope you guys liked this little video. If there's one thing I've learned from this whole process, it's that everything takes 10 times longer than you think it's going to take. But I'm honestly so happy with how it turned out. It doesn't look crazy different, but it feels so much more cozy and homey and just nice in general. I really feel like making this room my own has helped me so much when it comes to living in a share house with 4 other people. It will never stay clean as everyone in the house may be, but your bedroom is the one thing that you can control. When you live in a share house, you can't clean the kitchen in the morning and expect to come home to the same clean kitchen, but you can clean your bedroom and come home to a nice cozy space that you can relax in. Following along with the theme, I think I'm gonna tackle my closet next and do a big closet clean out. And I actually feel like I have quite a few tips that I don't think anyone else has talked about before, to my knowing. So I'm gonna film that whole process too. And if you want to make sure you don't miss that video, subscribe if you want to, give this video a like if you liked it, and I'll see you next week.
Being gentle